Hello there, and welcome to another episode of the interview. Today, I have a very interesting guest that I will be introducing shortly. As I always do, I encourage you to participate, to contribute meaningfully, even as we have this conversation. I will go ahead and introduce my guest without further ado, and we'll kickstart this wonderful and interesting discussion. Today, I am privileged to have a very dear friend by the name Job Shagaiya. Job Shagaiya, ESQ, is a native of Kaduna State, specifically from the Chawe tribe. He resides in Plateau State, where he has come to refer to as home. Job has multiple degrees in theology from Ekwa Theological Seminary, Jos, and in law from the University of Jos. He obtained his Bachelor of Laws from the Nigerian Law School in 2019 and became a practicing lawyer since then. Job is currently working with MY Saleh, SAN and Co. in Jos as an associate counsel. Prior to that, Job has been a photographer, and he has also taught in adjunct capacity at the Jos Ekwa Theological Seminary. So you're welcome. Let me bring him to the interview right now, and we'll kickstart this discussion. Job, I'm glad to have you today as my guest. Welcome to the interview.
Thank you, sir.
All
It's my
right.
pleasure.
Yeah, I am so delighted to have you today. I pray the internet is not going to disappoint us. So, without further ado,
Yeah.
I want to go straight to our discussion because that is what we are here for today. So, just as I said, this is a wonderful person. He's a lawyer. He's a barrister, as we say back in Nigeria, or as we say in Nigeria. So I want to start this discussion by talking about your career choice. You studied theology at both the undergraduate and graduate levels, and you later switched to law. The question is, what factors inform that switch from theology to law?
Um,
Hi, Job. Are you with me? Hi, Job. You're kind of freeze. I can see Attila Jr. saying, watching from Kaduna State, Nigeria. Thank you so much, Attila. Let's see whether Job will be able to sort out the internet connection. He will definitely be back.
uh,
All right, can you hear me now, Job? All right, Job, if you're watching this, please don't go anywhere. Our Job will be coming back for us to have this interesting conversation. It seems like he's having some technical glitches there, which is expected to some extent with the internet in Nigeria. So Job will be back, and we will continue with this discussion. It's going to be another interesting time. It looks like he's already back. Yeah, are we
yeah,
good now with the internet?
yeah.
Oh, all right.
The
I
internet.
don't know whether you got my question. I asked the question where what informed the switch from theology to law?
Yes, the switch from theology to law was informed by um, in the course of my study of theology, I began to see issues of justice, social justice, is very prominent in the Bible, in the scriptures, and many theologians seems to have that keen interest in issues of social justice in the society, and that began informing my decision um, to delve into the study of law, um, uh, to see how to apply the basic principles of scripture in addressing social issues in the society.
All right. So using the scripture to address social issues of social justice, and of course, the scripture is filled with those issues of justice and social justice. So tell me a little bit, what is the relationship between theology and law, if any? Hey, Job, are you with me? I hope this internet will not disappoint us. We must have this interview. In case you're watching, please keep the comments coming. You can like this video, you can share it. It's going to be a wonderful discussion. As you can see, we are just having some technical glitches, but I believe they will be rectified, and we will successfully have this discussion. Hey, Joe.
Yeah, the internet connection here is very poor.
Sorry about that. I can see that it can be a little bit frustrating. So the question I asked was, what's the relationship between theology and law, if any?
Theology, together with law and medicine in the Middle Ages, were seen as the noble professions. And they were seen as the noble professions because there is a kind of relation between them. I used to joke to some of my friends that the study of law is the same thing. When you study law, you are actually studying theology, but you just remove from it. The same theories and principles you are in the study of theology. So the deeper you go in the study of law, you begin to see the ideas that shape the development of of the major aspect of Christian dogma. You see them that you see that they are the same. Um, they are similar with the ideas that influence the development of the law. Um, law deals with the issue of justice. It also deals with the issue of mercy. Law deals with the issue of how people relate with each other in the society. Law deals with the issue of um, it reminds people that there is something bigger and higher than you that you are subjected to. Now, basically, that is what the rule of law is. And in theology, you are constantly reminded that there is a sovereign being in charge of the universe. You are subject to his control. You are subject to his rulership. So by looking at this, you begin to see how law and theology correlate with each other.
All right. So there is a correlation between law and theology. I can see John Stanley, Reverend Stanley, saying watching from South Africa. I can see Muat Dominic saying he is also watching from Lancaster here in the United States. This is John Stanley's comment. And also earlier, Attila also said he's watching from Kaduna State. Please keep the comments coming as the discussion progresses. Keep the comments coming, and you can ask questions at any point. So let me ask you, since there is this correlation between law and theology, will you advise all people or pastors to have at least an elementary knowledge of law?
Yes, I think that is important.
Okay.
Back then in the seminary, there used to be this course, Church Law and Society, at JET, just Equa Theological Seminary. My regret is JET made that a compulsory course for only those in the pastoral studies department.
Yeah.
A Christian worker has to have a good idea of what the law is in the society. What now, basically, when people look up to a pastor, when they go to a pastor, they bring not just theological problems alone. They bring social problems, problems they have with their neighbors, problems they have in the family, problem they have in every aspect of life. And law does not spare any aspect of society. Law encompasses every aspect of the society, of our social life. And that is the more reason, since most people in the church today look up to pastor as the first source of guidance, then a pastor should have a basic understanding or the basic principles of law. So it is important that pastors, right from school, right from training in the seminary, in Bible schools, that pastors should have some ideas about what are the laws in the society, how does the legal system work, and when should we resort to using the institutions or the judicial institutions of society.
From your training in the seminary and your interaction with pastors, will you say that most of our pastors have an idea of the law of the land?
Well, I will not be bold to say many do not. Yes, there are few exceptional ones. Sometimes, like I once listened to a sermon, and a pastor was giving an illustration, and unfortunately he said, this is something that happened. It's not just a story. It's not fiction. And he said, someone has been sentenced to death. Judge him, and that another person came forward and offered to take his place, and the society grants that. So after when the service finished, I had people talking outside. Is that possible?
So sorry. So I guess our viewers did not get that because you were freezing. Can you retell that story? I think it's an important illustration. You were freezing. Can you retell the story? We kind of missed you when you we are talking about the illustration. So what was the illustration again?
Okay, a pastor gave a story in the course of his sermon that someone has been sentenced to death, and he has been tried in the court of law and he has been found guilty. So a death sentence has been passed on him. Then another person came forward and offered to take his place, to be killed in his place. And the pastor presents the story as a true life story. And at the end of the service, that is practically impossible in any society in the world today. So now this is just an illustration of how sometimes pastors talk about legal issues in the society, and even the members will be looking at the pastor and say, "This is an incredible story. It's not possible." So most of our pastors do not have basic understanding of the legal system. They do not have basic understanding of how the legal system works in the society. I was reading in the course of the week the Supreme Court's judgment that was the U.S. Supreme Court, the judgment. I can't remember the name of the case, but like it's between the Catholic Archbishop of the governor for the restriction given, the restriction put in place, the lockdown in New York. And you can see this is the church there understood the rule of the law, and they understood how they can approach the courts to seek redress where the state is encroaching in the life of the church. So this tells us pastors ought to have a basic understanding of the law and the legal system.
They don't necessarily have to go to law school as you did, but having the basic understanding of the legal system helps. So what will you say to pastors that may be watching this, or people in ministry that may be watching this, or let's even say Christians in general that seem to have this idea that, law, the legal profession is very dirty. I don't know whether you know about this, but while growing up as kids, we used to hear this story that when lawyers die, they usually put their face downwards or something like that in the coffin because they are not going to see God or something like that. So how will you comment? How will you respond to that? Are you with me? All right, if you can hear me, I think, yeah, that's better. He will be coming back and continue with the conversation. I can see Rahab saying she is watching from Kaduna State. Hi, my sister, my friend. How are you doing? Thank you so much for joining. I can also see Tim Miyaki saying he's watching from Kaduna State. Tim was my guest here yesterday. So in case you haven't seen my interview with Tim Miyaki, it was a wonderful interview. Please check this page. You will see my interview with Tim, and you can watch that. It was a very powerful interview we had yesterday. Welcome back. Did you hear my question before going off?
No.
So the question I was asking, or the question I asked was, what will you say to pastors or Christians or anyone out there that has this understanding that the legal profession is very dirty? And I gave an illustration. I don't know whether you heard that, but when we are younger, when we are kids, they used to tell us that lawyers are not going to see God because it's a very dirty profession. When they die, they actually put That was according to that folklore, that they will put their coffin, their face facing down. They don't, they don't face the sky because they're not going to heaven. How will you respond to that, jokes aside?
Yeah, the legal profession um, is a difficult one. Um, uh, it touches um, it touches essential or difficult aspects of social life of our society, and lawyers are bound. Lawyers are people, just like uh, everyone else in the society. Um, I once had Professor Kunhiop made a statement in the course of a message he delivered, and he was speaking with a big shot in the Nigerian police, and the man was saying, "Pastor, the people you are recruiting, the people you are recruiting these days, you need to do something about it. You have so many bad eggs in the system." And Kunhiop replied and said, "The same place where you recruit your officers is the same place I recruit my pastors." You see, in Nigeria, people have uh, just like you state, as grifters, bad people who are ready to do anything to have their way. Yes, you encounter people like that, but in every profession, you have the good ones and the bad ones and the ugly ones. And it's up to you. You decide which category you want to belong to. We all face the same temptation, even in ministry.
All right. Are you still with me? All right. Job will be back, I suppose, when he sorts out the internet connection, and he will be back. We'll continue with this discussion. Today I have Job. If you have been following, I have Job, who is a lawyer and also a theologian. We've been talking about the relationship between law and theology, and why people need to have an idea. Even people in ministry need to have an idea about the legal profession. So keep the comments coming. I can see people that are watching. Please keep the comments coming, and Job is gonna sort out the internet connection. Sorry about that. He's gonna sort out the internet connection, and he will be back, and we will continue with this wonderful discussion. And in case this is your first time here, if you're watching this for the first time, I'll encourage you to follow this page, to like this page, so that anytime I bring a guest, I do this every Saturday and Sunday, the same time. Anytime I bring your guest, you'll be able to follow the interview. I bring very interesting guests from different walks of life. So Job is back. Yes, as you were saying.
Sorry, my network is very,
It's
very
okay.
bad this
I
evening.
understand. We will definitely have this conversation. Yeah.
Like in the course of the week, Um, I I was in court for a case. It's a murder case um, against an officer of the law, and a number of persons met me. Why will you be defending someone like that? He's guilty. He has committed the offense. Why defend him? So sometimes people see grifters, uh, people who are ready to do anything for money. Uh, but are you with me?
Yes, I'm
Hello?
with you. I'm with you. I'm with you. Just
Okay,
keep
then.
talking. Yes.
Okay. So, um, sometimes as a lawyer, you are bound to you defend people irrespective of what you feel about them. Um, you are there to defend. You are not there to win at all costs. But unfortunately, in the profession, there are there are many who see winning at all costs as something worth pursuing. Like the illustration that I gave with uh, the comment by Professor Cynthia. In every profession, you face the hard choice of whether being on the right side of history or the wrong side of history. So at the end of the day, it's left to you to decide what, which side of history you want to belong to.
Yeah. So you can be a victim of history. It is our own to decide which type or which side of history we want to belong to. I want us to still talking about the legal profession because that is what you do. Lawyers are saddled with the difficult responsibility of promoting and executing justice. The question is, how true is this in the legal profession in Nigeria? Will you describe yourself and your colleagues? I believe you do that, but will you describe the legal profession, as it were, in Nigeria as one that is actually promoting and executing justice? Are you with me, Job? All right. If you're watching this, don't go anywhere. Job will be back, and he will try when he sorts out the internet connection. He will be back. We have been having a conversation about the legal profession, especially in Nigeria, and the questions of justice and the question of not just promoting but also executing justice in the Nigerian socio-political landscape. So let me see whether I will be able to bring back Job. All right, Job will be back. As I said, I also want to encourage you that you keep the comments coming. Just let me know. Just say I am watching this from so place. I appreciate that, and you can go ahead and share this video. And as I said earlier, if you haven't followed this page, because this is what I do every weekend, I encourage you to go ahead and like this page and follow it so that anytime I bring a guest, I bring guests from different walks of life to just have frank conversations, because that is what this is all about, to have frank conversations with people. Hi, Job.
Yes.
All right. Sorry for all the trouble.
Yeah, it's the Nigerian factor.
I understand. I understand. We will do this against all odds. So I was just talking about prior to before the technical glitches. I was just talking about the legal profession specifically in Nigeria, and I said lawyers are saddled with the difficult responsibility of promoting and executing justice. And I asked the question, how true is this in the legal profession in Nigeria? Will you describe yourself and your colleagues as people that are promoting and executing justice?
Sorry, can you
All right. Looks like
repeat
you want to repeat my question.
the question?
Yeah, the question is, can you describe yourself and the legal and your colleagues in the legal profession in Nigeria as people that are actually promoting and executing justice?
Yes, I see the primary role is to promote justice, to ensure that people get justice. Now, sometimes uh, um, people fail to understand what lawyers mean when they refer to justice. Now, a lawyer is concerned with justice according to the law. Justice according to the law. Now, you may have a good you may have suffered injustice, but where the law of the land does not um, recognize the wrong that you have suffered, then there may not be remedy. So a lawyer looks at the law. Is there a remedy proffered by the law of the land? Is there a remedy for this wrong? A lawyer will be able to defend you. But where the law of the land does not recognize the legal injury that you have suffered or the form of injustice that you have suffered, then there will be no justice for you under the law. You have to look at some other alternate means.
So it is not news that the Nigerian legal system is corrupt. Will you agree to this claim?
Well, the Nigerian legal system is corrupt to the same degree that almost every aspect of the society is corrupt.
Okay.
Corruption is widespread, even in the church, in the civil service, every aspect of the Nigerian society. So, since lawyers are also members of the society, they share in the same ailment.
Is that fair? Is that a good argument to make? You are a lawyer and you guys specialize in making arguments, right? So is that a good argument? Is that a good case to make that because the legal every aspect of the Nigerian society is kind of corrupt, then lawyers cannot but also be corrupt? Aren't lawyers supposed to be the ones correcting the ills in the society?
Yeah, Yes, lawyers have a role, but lawyers alone can make uh, can bring about the needed change. You can go to court and fight for a case, get judgment, and at the end of the day, you will not be the one enforcing it. Um, so you depend on other agencies in the society too. So lawyers alone can't make it happen. Can't bring about the required change in the Nigerian society. Yes, lawyers have a role, but as Nigerians, we all do. Pastors have a role, teachers have a role to play, and every other profession. So
That-
that is
yeah,
how I see it.
yeah, that's quite true. But what will you say is responsible for the decay in the legal system in Nigeria? Are you with me? All right, in case you are watching this, I will apologize for all the technical glitches that we have been having. We'll continue with this conversation as soon as Job is back online. We'll continue with this conversation. Go ahead and let me know where you're watching this from, and if you have any specific questions. If you have been following this discussion so far, just ask your questions, and that would be great. And Job will be happy to respond to them when he comes back online. Let me see. Looks like he's back. We good now? All right.
Yes.
Please continue with what you were saying.
You asked about the factors that
All right, we're still struggling with the internet there. I know it is a little bit disappointing for some of you, but this is not going to deter us. We'll continue to have this conversation. You know, people usually, especially looking at the legal system in Nigeria, that was why I decided to bring this young lawyer. The legal system in Nigeria has largely been described as very corrupt. And these are people that are supposed to guard against the corruption in the society. These are people that are supposed to guard against all the things that are not good. So when you have the legal system decaying, it poses a great threat and a big challenge to society if those who are supposed to fight for justice, those who are supposed to provide justice to people are not able to do that or refuse to do that, then it becomes very, very problematic for the society. So we'll be talking about this with Job. Let me see. Looks like he's back. Yes.
yes,
Please just keep talking.
sorry, it seems frustrating.
I know. Do you want to continue from where you stopped? If you remember what you were saying.
Okay, yes. Um, you asked about what factors are responsible for
All right, it looks like we'll continue to have these technical glitches. I wish that we have something better, but I mean, this is beyond Job's control. There is practically nothing he can do at this point. He doesn't control the internet. So we've been trying to see that we have this conversation. It looks like it is difficult. Are you back?
Yes.
All right. Sorry for
Okay.
all the frustration. I know how frustrating this can be. Sorry for that.
Yeah, it's all right. I
Yeah.
think the factors responsible for the decay in the legal profession is similar or the same with those of the larger society. We have right from the training, the legal education or legal training itself. You have a system that is using a curriculum that was designed for pre 1960. Um, there is no updating of the curriculum. We have moribund laws that are not applicable in the 21st century. Uh, Still be paid judges. You have poorly paid judges. And many of them have to resort to corruption as ways of uh, augmenting their income. You have the orientation of the society. Uh, many people seems um, don't have a good so there are many the orientation of the society is very poor.
Mm.
um, you have those enforcing the law. Most of them don't even know the law, don't even know when they are infringing on the basic rights of people in the course of carrying out law enforcement and all of that. So there are many factors that are contributing, and we can only hope that the society will get better.
Will you say there is justice in Nigeria? Did you get my
That
question?
question
Yeah.
maybe
All right, we are still having our conversation with Job. I just asked him a question about justice. And all right, looks like he is back, almost back. He's almost here. Let's see whether this works. As he tries to sort that out, please just let me know where you're watching this from. If you are still patient to watch, to follow this. Yeah, are we back? Are we good? Hi, Job. All right. It looks like
Hello?
can you hear me now?
Hello?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yes, I'm getting you.
All right. Please continue.
Yes, I wish you would explain more what you mean by justice in Nigeria. What aspects?
Justice, as it
If you can
were,
shed more light to the
justice.
question.
You see, you're talking as a lawyer. Justice, the basic understanding of justice is what I'm asking about. Are you with me? Are you still with me? I can see
Well,
Bege saying he's
yes.
watching from Philly. Thank you so much for for that comment. Yes, please go ahead. Oh no. Yeah.
The big problem with Nigeria, we import laws from other countries without looking at our peculiarities. And when it comes to enforcement, we begin to bring our peculiarities. We begin to bring our cultural um, um, ways of looking at justice. Um, for instance, let me just make an illustration here. Some weeks back, I I was pursuing an enforcement, and a court has pronounced judgment on a case more than 2 years ago, and we allow the defendant to um, make the first move. Let's see whether he'll comply with the judgment of the court. And it took him 2 years. That's from 2018. The judgment was handed by the court in 2018, and until this year, then we decide, okay, so let's enforce the judgment. And I went to the residence of the man with the court bailiffs and police officers early morning hours. And the man at first was violent, but later he called the community leaders and they said, let's sit down and talk. Let's settle the matter. Something that has been decided by the court of law, what is there to settle again? So when you look at our society today, you will see we have the formal legal system at work, and we have the local or the cultural the local institutions at work. Now, sometimes you try to, okay, you are pursuing justice, and the other institutions, the local institutions are interfering in the system. For instance, the issue of rape is rampant in Nigerian society today.
Mm-hmm.
Most of the times when family members decide, okay, there's an incident of rape, let's report it to the police or let's go to court. You will see family members, even pastors will come, let's sit and talk and resolve this. How do you I know of a family. Yes, it's an in-house thing. There was a case of murder and the the person, the suspect, is a member of the family, and the person, the victim, is also a member of the family. And when the police came and arrest the suspect, the family said, no, it's a family issue, let's settle it in-house. So sometimes people will say there is injustice in the society. But when the law is about to take its course, then there will be interference from other interest entities in the society.
Yeah, I hear.
Sometimes the issue of justice, that's why I asked the question, can you clarify what? Now, to many Nigerians, it is an act of injustice for the president to grant amnesty to Boko Haram members.
Mm-hmm.
But to many up north, that is not injustice. To them, they are repentant members of the group. So can we rehabilitate them and bring them back to the society? It happened back then during Good Luck's time, when there was for militant in the Niger Delta. Many opponents of many say that state the two are
All right. We are still having the conversation with Job Shagaiya, who is a lawyer, a theologian, and a photographer. He's talking about the definition of justice. He's been talking about, I asked him a question, will he describe the Nigerian state as a state that, will he say that there is justice in Nigeria? And he's trying to answer my question, and we are having some technical glitches. If Job is able to come back, then we'll continue with this conversation. But if you're watching this, I can see some still watching this. I want to appreciate you for your patience with all the technical glitches, but thank you so much for watching. Go ahead and like this page and follow this page so that anytime I bring someone to have these conversations, frank conversations with, you'll be able to follow the conversation. And in case this is the 9th edition, in case you haven't watched previous editions or episodes of this program, I will encourage you to check this page, check out this page and see the previous discussions or interviews we have had with other people. Yesterday, we had a very interesting conversation with Tim Meyaki. I will encourage you to check that. It was a very fruitful conversation, and other conversations that we have had with other people from different walks of life. We have brought Ishaya Inua. We had a great conversation with him. We have also had conversation with Shepherd Shedrack. We have had conversation with Emmanuel Zaka. We have conversation with Cynthia Dogonyaro. We had conversation with Blessing Bonat and different people. Please check this page and watch those interviews. Hey, Job. Welcome back. Can you hear me? All right, I will give this one more try. If it doesn't work, I probably will just have to call it a day. We have not been able to cover all the things that we were supposed to cover with Job because of these technical glitches. We have not been able to do that. But I can promise you that at some point, I will still want to bring Job back at some point to have this conversation in a future time. But thank you so much for those of you that have been patient to watch this. I pray that you enjoy the rest of your week, and bye for now.